Crack a couple beers, we'll talk about the sport. Maybe some other things, don't take us to court.
Welcome back to another episode of the Weekend Warriors. You are back with Jack Windland, Nick Stober, and Caleb Jasmat as we go through the upcoming sporting week. We review what happened last week and we just chat some general shit, to be honest. And we're getting quite good at it, I reckon. The chatting shit part, not the picks, as you'll find out soon. So, look, again, really keen to get on here and chat with you boys, and welcome back. Stobey, Len, how we doing?
Yeah, bloody good, mate. Another week of being allowed to go out and have a picnic now with our friends. So we made the most of that one yesterday and got up Mount Hobson and had a bit of a picnic in the sun before it clouded over, and had some takeaways as well, and had a cheeky wine as well, or cheeky beer, sorry, should I say? But it was good fun. Good to get out of the house and talk to the fellas. How about you, Stobey? Been up to anything different?
Oh no, I mean, it's good to be back. I'm surprised that I'm still here after last week, so that's a bonus. Apologies again for all that, but no, the weekend was good. Obviously, some good sport on. Nice to get out and about in the sun, and obviously, Cindy's letting Auckland out slowly but surely. So hopefully this weekend we might be able to watch a pony or two with the boys. How good? Or one of the boys at a time.
Yeah, only one bubble allowed.
Yeah.
Did I see you on the golf course as well, Stobey, for a little bit there?
I hacked around a little pitch and putt session. It wasn't pretty. I'm pretty sure the missus might even beat me on it, but hopefully that doesn't actually make it on air. But it was nice to get out and about. It's been a wee while, so brush off those cobwebs, and hopefully we can do it with the boys very soon.
Bloody good. I even managed to wet a line, believe it or not. I started out down at the old Oraki Marina and ended up in Whangaparoa up at Gulf Harbour, and the only thing we caught was a bloody shag. We had the brilliant idea of having a live bait ready to go for a kingfish. So we got the old Jack Mac, hooked her up and tossed her in, and then this bloody shag comes swimming over, and the live bait starts panicking, and I'm like, fucking you beauty, we're on. And this fucking shag comes out of nowhere, gobbles this fucking Jack Mac down its throat. I've still got the hook in the Jack Mac, and so here I am, buddy, yeah, you beauty. Then the shag pops up about 20 meters away, and it's got it's got the live bait in its gob, and so I've got to haul this thing in, and everyone's fucking losing their mind. There's kids next to me, and they're like, he's caught a bird, and fucking everyone's panicking. Pull the bloody thing in, grab the bird, and luckily the hooks just rolled perfectly into the corner of the mouth, as you do. That's why we use circle hooks. So I managed just to slide it out, and the bird swam off with a bloody free Jack Mac, and I was left empty-handed, and that was about as good as my fishing day went, to be honest. It was about the highlight. But hey, it was good to be out there.
As long as you can remember what it feels like to at least reel in something, mate. So that's the main thing, Keep yourself in season.
Yeah, absolutely. Made a change from all that fucking seaweed, that's for sure.
I'm glad you explained what a shag was by the end of your story by saying it was a bird. I was sitting here wondering what the fuck was going on, So thanks for that, Caleb. I actually did some DIY, gents, so I'm going to throw that out there. I got the power drill going. I put up some curtains and this lovely new desk here. So that's about as manly as I get once a year, and probably didn't do all of it myself, but that doesn't matter. Look, quickly back to you, Stobey, saying you're lucky to be here this week. Any goals this week on the how many bombs you're going to drop?
Me? Oh, no, mate. I'm keeping nice and calm. Firm word. So I'll be good tonight, I reckon. I'll be on my best behaviour, as good.
I think I'm leading that tally. I'm leading that tally tonight already. I think my story must have consisted of a few just then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, Stobey on the sugars last week was no good for everyone. I'll keep you in line.
I think the missus got him on the teas tonight instead. He wasn't allowed
calming tea. Mate. He actually did have a calming tea. Hey, let's get into some sports, gentlemen, because it was a bloody good weekend of it. So, look, the big dance was on the weekend with the NRL Grand Final, and it was good. So it was a fantastic game, and definitely, just an absolute classic. It was all done in the Fords with just a really grubby sort of slow grind, I thought, with 14-12. Penrith Panthers, the victors. You guys will watch it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a bloody great game. Pretty much went to script as we sort of called it. Stobey had picked it pretty well and true. I think he had it Panthers winning sort of 1-4, and they won by 2. I sort of picked that they'd control that game. Obviously gutted that Benji didn't get a swan song, but yeah, from the outset, really, the Panthers looked in full control of that one, and the Rabbits did well just to stay in touch, I thought. You look at those 3 games sort of leading into that final that the Panthers played, including the final. There's only the winning margin, I think, combined was 8 points over those 3 games. So 2 against the Eels, 4 against the Storm, and then 2 against Rabbits. So it's certainly, they say defense wins premierships. We said that last week, and it stung true again today or last weekend for the Panthers. But bloody good for them. Gee, do they know how to celebrate, boys? Holy.
Well, they picked up with the ABs, and they went very hard over the weekend.
That's
Stobey, you might have
naughty.
picked a little man of the match there, little Clive Churchy.
Oh, it was always going to happen though, wasn't it? And everyone's spraying me for picking the favourite. Oh, shock! But at the end of the day, you got to get paid, and you do if you go with Nathan Cleary. What a clinic that man put on. His kicking game was unreal. Just controlled it, and yeah, he was bloody good. I think, obviously the big moment was that intercept, and I personally think that the Panthers actually forced that. That sort of made the Rabbits play, and they had to try and create something, and that was what sort of forced that mistake. So I think the Panthers defense was outstanding, and they got the dub, and good to sort of get that after last year. So yeah.
Did you actually put a cheeky bet on Cleary, or did you just pick it?
Oh, I had $10 on, so $40 is a beauty.
But, nice little multiplier to end the weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't a big one. I don't know. I had a bit of money on my multi. I was sort of hoping that would come in, and I was looking pretty good. And Cleary he got close a couple times as well to dotting down, but just couldn't do it. That would have been a nice little win, but we'll go again.
So yeah, just a few things here. I mean, firstly, Brian To'o to propose to his miso straight after the game. That's a big one to pass someone. Did he have the ring in his sock, or did he have it to someone else? But he's pissing blood out of his face.
I heard he just proposed with his NRL Grand Final ring.
Maybe he's just got a massive 40.
Okay, buddy. Alrighty then.
Pulled it out of his anteater.
Having that calming tea. A few other things here. I mean, Dylan Edwards playing with a broken foot. Richie McCall for the last month. Stobey, mute yourself while you laugh at your own joke, you prick. With a broken foot for the last month. I mean, Cam Murray in the first tackle got knocked the fuck out, and then made 53 tackles. He still made that tackle, but he was knocked out. 53 tackles for 0 misses after being knocked out in the first play of the game is pretty heroic. And if they'd have won, he probably would have been there and thereabouts for Clive Churchy. Cody Walker, obviously amazing, probably one of the best tries in grand finals to palm Nathan and run from far out to score. But then, through that intercept and the really good commentating around, he should have played short. But you're really good pick up there, Stobey, that it was forced. I mean, they were just picking them up and dragging them back because the ref was just keeping his whistle in his pocket, and they realized that and did something about it. So the play the balls were slow, and they just couldn't get out of their own end. So, force that pass was a really good call. Adam Reynolds off to the Broncos, Wayne Bennett, I'm not sure. And obviously Benji Marshall, which we'll touch on properly soon, but, big retirement there. And that 20-minute press conference, I had to watch something fun after that. That's for sure. That was amazing, but sad, right? Yeah,
definitely a little bit emotional, almost brought a tear to my eye there. And,
emotions that would have got you there.
The game certainly is losing a superstar who sort of revolutionised the game, and how a lot of these younger players coming through have sort of modelled their play off Benji. So, certainly one of the GOATs.
Yeah, and we'll move on though, lads. And look, quick one here before we go to you for rugby. Caleb, is apparently the Ashes are in a bit of doubt, and obviously us three being have a dabble at cricket every now and then, and that's massive in December if the English don't score. Tim Payne came out and just had this lack of empathy basically in his speech, saying that these boys should be getting over and not complaining sort of thing. they've played no Test cricket away in the last since kind of COVID happened, and England's been in I think 4 bubbles, so that was crazy. But here's a little stat: this year, 2021, Joe Root has scored 80 runs less than Tim Payne has in his whole Test career. How's that for Tim Payne talking shit? Joe Root can do what he likes. He's having a better year than that guy's had a career. I thought that was pretty good,
He's got to be just the most, like, he's the definition of just picking a captain, right? Mm-hmm. And he's just there because he's the captain.
Stobey.
Like how Peter Hanscom or something.
It's a bit like me, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be the Tim Payne of Auckland cricket.
Yeah. Well, you're probably not far off.
Oh dear.
Oh, funny. So yeah, look, that could be pushed 12 months back, which isn't the worst thing for England if they've got Stokes and Archer who aren't going to go on tour. That could go because of it, and obviously they've had a massive summer to try and delay that, so it's not the end of the world. And with the 2020 World Cup, gives those guys a break. But yeah, over to you, Caleb. Let's chat some code.
Yeah, so the end of the Rugby Championship as well on the weekend. Couple of good games again. Aussie, Argentina. Aussie finish the championship with 4 wins on the bounce, beating South Africa twice, and then doing a number on the Argies as well twice. So that was, I guess, well deserved for them, and credit to, I guess, the positive style of code that they have played over the last few weeks. So that was pretty impressive. Callaway for me has to be close to player of the tournament. I don't know who you boys, I'd be interested to hear who you boys think is sort of your player of the tournament, but Callaway for me, hat-trick in the last game and 7 tries, I think, across the Rugby Championship. So for me, he was probably the pick of my pick of the players for mind. Stobey, who was your interested to hear who your sort of player of the tournament is?
Yeah, obviously Callaway played bloody well.
You weren't prepped for that at all. We can see it in your face.
I'm just sitting here going.
If you're listening to the pod, jump on Instagram or YouTube and check the video out when it comes out.
Don't
deer in the headlights.
I've just gone, what are you talking about? You're putting me under the pump here. I'm going to be honest. I haven't really thought of a player of the tournament. Yeah, I do think obviously Callaway went really well. I thought
not your mate Havili.
Oh no, he didn't win me. He didn't score enough tries for my liking. I kept betting on him and not winning, so he can get fucked. But no, I thought some of those South African forwards were pretty impressive as well, particularly in the last couple of games against us. I know it's like, I say it's boring and it is a bit boring, but the way they play and some of the turnovers and stuff that they were getting are pretty impressive. And even
the South Africans, they swapped out their whole front row and within about 38 minutes into the first half, and gee whiz, that made a huge impact. Holy shit, they started absolutely dominating us after that. That was a massive call.
They're big boys, man. Like they were very, very physical. Like it was one of the first times I reckon in a long time I've really seen the All Blacks I don't think they really knew what to do. I think the South Africans were hitting them so hard. And like, obviously it was close and they in the end, but just the way they kept coming at us and smashing us, like even that Big Len day, man, like fuck, he's big
good
unit.
Man.
Oh my god,
and he's jacked as well. Holy shit, that boy has got a rig on him.
Oh yeah, but all of these fucking sappers, they bloody go and get on the juice until the end of their. They do.
Just accuse professional athletes of doping. Thanks for that, Stobey. That's us cancelled.
Before through high school and stuff in South Africa, a lot of them do get juiced up, and then when they get into professional rugby, they make sure they've got a particular time so that they're off it and that they can get through the tests and stuff. And they're obviously off it now, but they're fucking huge already, so who gives a shit? But yeah, no. So to answer your question in the most roundabout way possible, I don't have a player of the tournament.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. So, Jack, I'm sure you've rustled one up in that time.
Yeah, Quade Cooper for me, and because of the influence.
Another one sucking off Quade.
All right, mate. Only Kiwi. Following your lead. Anyway, so I think for me, because of the impact he had on a side, like he obviously played well, but the fact that he came in and they went 4 on the bounce from that, just the influence he had on that team, obviously clutched that first game he was back, and that was massive. But just the way that they were able to expand their attack and really show off some skills, and I think that massively comes off your 10 as to the style of play you want to do, as it revolves around the guy that's steering the ship. So I thought he was a breath of fresh air, and obviously he probably didn't kick that well this weekend, but previous weekends he kicked really well off the tee as well, which when they came to New Zealand, those games they were really struggling with that. So their style of play because of him for me. So Quade Cooper gets my pick.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I agree. They played certainly a lot more positively and a lot better with Quaid at the helm. And it'll be interesting to see how they sort of work that one in as they start to target the 2023 Rugby World Cup as well, and how that sort of factors in. Because obviously Quaid's coming probably more to the back end of his career, and does he have it in him to get to that World Cup? I guess remains to be seen, and how they sort of shape that team around him. But if they can get it right, I think they'll certainly be Smokies for that World Cup as well behind the ABs. I guess just touching on those ABs and Sappers, Stobey sort of did a good job there covering it off. But I thought, the Box played bloody outstandingly. And it was a great game of code, and perhaps overshadowed slightly by the NRL on Sunday. But it was another cracker, probably an all-time classic. Those games between the Box and the ABs never really let you down. We got dominated at lineout, though. It was my sort of analysis of it. They just absolutely killed us at lineout. And it's probably the first time this year that we looked like we missed Dane Coles. Usually, obviously, we had that 1-2 punch with either Cody Taylor and Coles, either starting or coming off the bench. Obviously, great exposure and experience for the likes of Amua and Takiaho, who will be better for the experience. But I think that game, that was where we really probably just missed that experience of an older head of like the likes of Coles. And then they did a great job slowing down our defense and at the breakdown as well. And the reffing was terrible for both sides, so it probably evened itself out. But just certainly shows how good Test rugby is and how tough Test rugby is. So it was it's going to be a shame that that's over. But hey, we look forward to the ABs probably giving a walloping to the old USA Eagles in a couple of weeks. So put that one in your calendars, boys. Over to the NPC. It was a week. Wow, what an upset to start firstly, Stobey.
Just take the piss out of him. Don't beat around the bush. Beat him back as boys, and look what happens.
You know what, really, like the thing about this whole situation is that the week before I said they're playing really well. They got a yellow card and they got unlucky. They probably could have got closer. Go fuck yourself. And then the boys put me off, and I feel real bad that I didn't back the brothers, because fuck me, to beat Waikato, who've gone out and beat beat Tasman, like it's that's a serious effort, and they are playing good code. Obviously they got up for old Renee's 100th test, 100th test for Northland, 100th game. But it was it was good to see that they are playing some good rugby, and it actually just shows, I think, that anyone can beat anyone in this competition, which makes for fucking hard punting, but good watching.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then I guess Bay of Plenty beating Wellington as well. That was another close game, and I was surprised that Bay of Plenty got up, but good game from them. And then obviously Tasman did a number on the old Stags, who, as you said, Stobey, definitely played their final last week, and I was miles off the chat with my 1-12 on Tasman, so that's all right. In terms of the scorelines, just for the Rugby Championship, obviously ABs went down there 31-19. And then the score in the old Aussie game, I actually can't remember at the moment. I think it was about 30-17 or something to Aussie off the top of my head. Actually, the winning margin was 15 because I almost picked it. So it definitely wasn't 30-17.
Got that in there, almost picked it.
Yeah, you do the NPC scores, Len, and we'll save your ass, mate. No worries. Just, it was 32-17, Australia over Argentina. And then what did we have for the other one?
Yeah, 32-17. Oh, it was almost got the 17 right. It was only 2 off, so not too bad. NPC, obviously, Northland over Waikato 38-28 in that one. Bay of Plenty just sneaking home over Wellington 33-32. Manawa 2 Turbos doing a number on Otago 27-14. And the Tasman Muckles getting the fin up over the Stags 51-14. So that pretty much wraps that one up. Stobey, over to the ponies. What was happening racing around?
Oh, fuck all, to be honest.
Yeah, we did not. We not go well, did we?
Oh my god, no. I think I put Colin Gatter out as my best, and it was one of the first races of the day. And I thought, oh my god, here we go. This is going to be an absolute beauty. When he comes storming down, I thought, here we go. And then the next one came second, and the next one, and the fucking next one.
I think we had about 4 or 5 come second. I think my 2 best came second. Jack's came second, and yours came second.
Nah, Rio Danny shat the bed, mate. Don't.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it was no good. But it was an interesting one. I think the track played interestingly. Was it Rosehill? Yeah, Rosehill.
Yeah.
And there were some interesting horses coming in and running some pretty naughty races from the back of the field. So it was an interesting day. Punting didn't go very well for the fellas, but obviously we'll go again. Yeah, I mean, Coolangatta, like we said, better than bank interest. And I think Windley, you managed to get a little multi home for the fellas today, or was that you, Len? Which one is going to
No, that was old Windle piece got on my multi. Changed it up a little bit. A couple of the punters actually got on it. To be fair, I think a few of the fellas managed to pick up the old multi today, the 4-legger, and didn't follow my advice and just changed the odds on it. I think they had them all to place or something, and they snuck one home past the goalie, which was nice. Obviously, I got done out in leg 2 where what was his name, Air Blue or something, Blue Air.
Yeah, apologies.
He snuck into 3rd instead of 2nd, so that was a tough loss. But hey, look, you win some, you lose most. Stobey, you'll attest to that one.
That is the motto.
I did jump on that. I also had my my man in the stands who didn't help me last week, but on Saturday gave me a couple for Grand Promenade and Wairere Falls, which I got on, which was great because I had not been winning much lately. So that was bloody nice to pick up some good margins on that. So yeah, at 480 I got a win, and then at Wairere Falls at 7s I got a win as well, and got each way on that one, which was lovely.
Pony tipper.
It was nice. And then today's one, I actually attempt at following Caleb's one and made a mistake somehow and then won and put the wrong, I think I might have combined someone else, like your one, Stobey, by accident.
No, you had all of mine. You just had them to place.
Oh, did I just get right. I thought you told me I had the wrong horse. Even then I don't know, but all I know is I got a green sign on my phone, and that's all that matters.
That's what you want, really.
Yeah, I'm having lunch tomorrow, boys. Don't you bloody worry.
Nice. Feast or famine. Windler is feasting. I like it. Yeah, so I mean, it's been an interesting couple of weeks of ponies. Some short price favourites getting smoked. So hopefully this week we can find some naughty oil. But we've got some points. We got a bit of a leaderboard thing to introduce to the warriors out there. So it's only fitting that I should be doing this
because you rigged it.
Yeah, I think the first couple of weeks I was getting absolutely obliterated, and now we've introduced this new system. I've introduced this new system.
Yeah, we got a phone call. All of us in here, right, boys? I've got the system. Hear me out. And shock fucking horror. Go on, Stobey. You tell your story. Sorry, mate. I'm just pissed.
So I've come up with the system which suits me only, apparently. So basically, with all the tips that we put out, we're going to have a set amount of games or horses that we pick each week. So the horses will be a best bet, a roughie, and a next best. I've done that in a weird order, but forgive me. And then we'll pick a bunch of games like the NPC, NRL, and essentially the odds for the game or the result that we pick will be the points. So if say you picked New Zealand to win and it was paying $1.30, you'd get 1.3 points, 1.3 points, and then it will add up over the week and then over time, which hopefully makes sense, boys. Does that make sense?
I switched off because I know the result.
So you'll get points for the odds if they win. Unfortunately, there's no prizes for second places or close bets, so that's a bit of a shame. But all the bets will be on the same games, so it's all fair and even for all the boys, so no one has a cry. And this week, we have, in third place, we have Windle Piece on 4.48 points, managing to...
Why didn't we count it earlier on the first 4 episodes or first 3 episodes?
Yeah, we would, mate.
I was
be so far in front.
Stobes would be so far behind, and we would be so far in front.
Yeah, I apologise, but so Windle's picked a couple of the NPC games, the Aussie game, and no ponies, so that didn't help. We had Len in second place on 6.12 points. Again, picked a couple of the NPC. Picked the NRL and the Aussie game, and then no horses, which didn't help. Then the legend himself, Stobey Stobes, is on 10.15 points, storming ahead. Mostly helped, to be fair, by the fact that I picked the favourite and Nathan Cleary to win the Clive Churchill. and Coolangatta better than bank interest pony also helped the cause. So yeah, that's where we stand. We'll go again next week, and the points will accumulate as the Weekend Warriors keep battling away each week. Hopefully we make it a few more weeks, fellas, and we can see who comes out trumps after a wee while. So
yeah. And if we suck, we're not going to tell anyone. So or else this thing's a shambles. No, that's really good, mate, and well put together. And look
absolutely.
forward to showing the Warriors out there that what we're up to with it, so they can follow the journey. So look, let's get into things. We'll get into our usual segments and the preview of this coming weekend. So today's segment, today's theme is based on paying a bit of tribute to Benji Marshall. Fantastic career. And we specifically haven't Googled like any stats off the cuff here because Stobey's got a quiz for Len and I later on him. So, but he's come out with, he's going to be the most capped NRL player, Kiwi NRL player ever. If he had played one more season, I know this off my head. Anyway, he would have gone past. I was just gone past Cronk for second most ever behind Smith only. Like he's absolute legend. He had massive shoulder reconstructions. Got binned off by the Tigers, came to the Blues, and was able to pull his career back around after the Blues, which not many can say around that time. 2013ish. So yeah, huge legend of the game, World Cup winner and everything. And we're going to pay tribute today by doing some segments on him and just a bit of Kiwi rugby league. Yeah, his highlight videos. How many times you seen them, Len?
Oh mate, I've watched a few over the last 24 hours. They've been speckies. That one you shared with Robbie Farah classed as his best ever. That's definitely up there. Obviously, the 2005 Grand Final, that holds true. Can't forget the old kiss on the lips with Scotty Prince as well. Oh mate, there's a few great memories. He's an absolute legend. And just a servant of the game as well. And off the field, gentleman. Just, absolute legend.
Classy
stayed away,
stayed
Sorry out of
there, mate.
Yeah, absolutely classy press conference. And just off the field as well. Like, you see a lot of these young fellas getting into trouble off the field and, 19 seasons in the NRL. And I think not one bad word said about him. Just credit to who he is as a bloke. Just a bloody good guy.
Absolutely.
So I think with that being said, we touch into some top five. So we got this week, we got our top 5 NZ League players. So this will be interesting. I had a good think over it and interested to see who you boys have come up with your top 5, especially
look at Stobey's face. When we got on here to start prepping and I go, all right, so next will be top 5 Kiwis combined. I just heard, oh, fuck. The scramble started. So, yes.
We'll let him have a couple more minutes then. We'll go to Jack.
Oh, no, I'm good, mate. I've got them, but yeah.
Oh, you got them.
Yeah, let's not give him any ideas. Throw him in the deep end.
Oh, we'll throw you in the deep end then. Off you go. Rattle off your 5 and why.
Oh, no, there's no why, mate. I don't know. It's pretty clear that I've actually not followed league for too long. I've probably only really watched a bit of it in the last couple of years. Couple of mates getting into it, and obviously you always into it and stuff. So naturally, I've started to. Yeah, well, okay, sorry, I'll go home. But yeah, I think So I apologise if this is real rogue and doesn't have much weight to it, but. So I've got Stacy Jones in there, who's obviously a bloke who played rugby league for New Zealand at some stage.
No, that's a start, Stobey.
No, I do know that
this is me and horses.
He was obviously a good player. I got Sonny Bill in there. He's a bit of a beast in sport in general, so throw him in the mixer. I got Ruben Wiki.
Fuck me if you just copied my 5.
No, I know what I'm talking about. I've got one real rogue one, which I've sort of got with like a not yet like a greatest, but I reckon will be, and that's James Fisher Harris. I reckon he's a bit of a beast, and over time will definitely be up there on the list. And then obviously rude not to add in my last one, which is Benji Marshall, theme of the week. He's a ledge, long-standing servant of the game. And like you guys have touched on, a top bloke who actually, after doing a bit of reading, has been through some interesting stuff in his life and has come out and done some pretty cool things. So he goes on there on top. Go the lads.
Very nice. Jack, how far are you from that 5?
I am, got quite a few similar, but my first one's actually a bit controversial after what came out yesterday, and it's old meth boy, Meth Manu. He's number 5 on my list.
Oh my god!
Look, he might not ever be able to listen to a podcast again if he ends up in behind bars.
Methamphetamine Vatuvai.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Look, it's really hard to take him off the list when I did the research, and I really wanted to because I wanted, people that represent our culture and New Zealand sport in a good light, and obviously, yeah, no, but I wanted that, but I couldn't now because I put Manu on it, right? And look, and the reason I put on it, I've kept it for him just specifically is what he achieved being New Zealand's highest ever try scorer, World Cup winner. Up until whatever he got into, I thought he was, in terms of how to play the game, a good ambassador, regardless of the off-field stuff right now. I know it's very important, but he'll go down in terms of his playing and what he did for the Kiwis as one of the greatest. But unfortunately, he's going to have to deal with his reputation being in the toilet for the rest of which was bloody rogue. That when that all came out and started reading that, probably obviously it was New Zealand's worst kept secret, but when it became, really real, holy shit. But anyway, we'll move quickly on from that. Ruben Wiki at number 4, 55 caps, most capped player, 18 games as skipper, moved positions as well from he, started his career at Canberra Raiders as a centre from what I understand, and, got big and fitter, and, the respect that is held from the people that have been with him, especially those Warriors boys, is unbelievable and what he's given back. So he's a great ambassador for the game. And he goes at number 4. Stacey Jones, Point Chev Pirates and Point Chev local legend. The little general is trying, I think 2002 Grand Final was one of the, rated one of the best Grand Final tries ever. To do what he did at his size gives me hope that I can achieve something myself. It's fantastic ambassador for short men out in the world. So thank you for that, Stacey, and your contribution. 46 caps, And Benji Marshall's my number 2, but rogue when he was making a tribute for him, but he is my number 2. Won the World Cup, captain New Zealand the most times, 31 caps, 19 as captain, I believe. Again, the way he represented his country, and it was really special when he was able to come back a couple of years ago, and you saw what the anthem meant to him and what playing for New Zealand means to him after that big break. I thought he was really unlucky not to play more than he did when he, although his club form wasn't always the best, he was still our best, I thought, especially when we were playing guys like Tohu Harris and other people out of position to be there, and you got Benji not there. Criminal from my point of view, but that's just the way that cookie crumbled. And my number 1 is Simon Mannering. I think he just embodies New Zealand culture, and what he's done across his club and international career is incredible. 45 caps, often playing in the centres, even though he's a second rower, because to fill those gaps, because we had really good back rowers in that time period. Would do it without questioning it. Would run hard, tackle hard, and just an absolute Kiwi bloke. The Richie McCaw of league, really, in my eyes. A great leader. So yeah, that's my 5.
That's awesome, mate. That's pretty well summed up, to be fair, and you've touched on a few of my points as well. And between the both of you, you picked my top 5, so that's not bad going. At 5, I've got Ruben Wiki. As you mentioned, Jack started life as a centre and just got massive. Moved to the front row. Great captain, great leader, great bloke. So he takes number 5 for me. Simon Mannering, yep, I've got him in there as well. He's at number 4. As you mentioned, he was just an absolute stalwart of the game. I think if he had played for a team like the Storm or the Roosters, would probably be talking about him in an immortal status. He was that good. Just had the unfortunate occurrence of having to play for the Warriors. So that probably didn't help him. But look, he still very much flew under the radar. Just got on with his job. Did the work that was required. Didn't kick up a fuss. And 300 games speaks for itself, especially for the Warriors, and obviously a captain for a very long part of that as well. Stacey Jones, number 3. Can't go wrong there. He's probably the best thing to come out of New Zealand since Pineapple Lumps in my mind. The little general, as they call him, 2002 Grand Final, as you said, Golden Boot that season. Led the Kiwis to hand Aussie their first international series loss in 27 years in 2005. So, yep, he is the little general, and he is in at number 3. Like you, Windle piece, I have Benji at number 2. You know, you can't leave him off the list. He's the GOAT. World Cup winner, Premiership winner, Four Nations winner, Golden Boot, and close to, I think, 350 games, or maybe just over 350 games to flick past a Goosey. You know, if Cleary's the Prince of Penrith, then Benji's the King of Whakatane. Yeah, so number 2 for me, he is a bloody legend. Absolutely. And number 1 is Sonny Bill Williams for me.
Wow.
Won his first premiership as a teenager with the Doggies. Inspired a cultural revolution at the Roosters when he went back there in 2013, led that club to another premiership, and we know what they've gone on to do since then. Just amazing legacy that he's created. And again, another one that would be a future immortal in my mind if it weren't for his ability to just be an absolute gun at pretty much anything and everything. And I'm really looking forward to reading his book this summer, which comes out pretty soon. So just a true role model, I think, off the field as well for a lot of young athletes. Obviously had his troubles as a young fella, and then obviously found the path and has just gone on to do some amazing things, both in the community and on the sports field. So yeah, for me, he, as far as influence goes, both on and off the field, he's the number 1 leaguey for me.
Yeah, great.
So that's
great list, mate.
Yeah, thanks. That's my top 5.
And
did I mention that Fisher Harris went to front of day, boys? Go the fellas.
Who's it? I don't even. Fisher Harris, who?
Hey,
nice.
Wait.
Picking a future one is rogue.
That's
all right, so we've got just a quick one. We've got All Whites action this weekend, which is fantastic because they barely ever play. They've got 2 games coming up, one this weekend and one, I think, just at the start of next week. They've got the All Whites versus Curacao. I believe that's how you say it. No idea who they are really, but that's fine. And then they've got Bahrain after that and some international friendlies, which is great to see them back out there. Obviously, they went really well at the Olympics in that kind of makeshift under 23s, plus a few of our guns side. So it's nice to get that group back together, and a lot more playing in Europe these days. And I mean, the squad here is weakened, and that's just because of the fact that they couldn't pick the A-League players, which was such a shame, especially when friend of the show, Ollie Sale, would have probably been really in line to get a spot and potentially get a 1 on his back after the season he had it in the Wellington Phoenix. But so be it, his time will come. It'll be really good to get them out there and just see what the kind of depth of the group is, but they don't play often. So look, I thought these guys would be coming into this as massive favourites because we don't play at all. We're going into this ranked 121st in the world, and the country that I've never heard of before, Curacao. I don't know how you guys are with your geography. They're ranked 79th.
They've probably got some like little Mexicans that can run around and kick the ball pretty well, though. So you never know, mate.
Thanks for that scouting report there, Stobey. They've probably just got people from their own country. But
I'm going to find out where this country is.
It's in the Caribbean, I'm pretty sure.
So close to Mexico.
Yeah, you're not far off. Yeah.
I
was decent at geography, so I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in fucking close to Mexico anyway.
It's north of it's an island off Venezuela, mate.
Yeah, so
there'll
pretty
be some
close.
Mexicans.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Anyway, so when they bring their Mexicans, they've come off a 4-0 loss to Bahrain, who will play early next week. So they're licking their wounds, and hopefully our All Whites go in and make it tough for them. Maybe a low-scoring affair for a little dusty 1-0 win would be lovely. But that's nice to have that coming. Stobey or Stones, I think you've got next up with some boxing, mate.
What are there odds for that game, or is there, you can't?
I couldn't see any when I looked at the tab. I mean, I don't have 365. Maybe you guys should take a look, but it'd be interesting to see what they come up with because, we've got some good players, but we haven't got our full squad. Should I keep Caleb? How much stalling do you need to find it?
I'm just having a scroll through now.
We'll kick on with the boxing, and if you find it, happy days. But it'd be interesting to see what the deal is. I pick anytime goal scorer as the little Mexican. Sorry,
that Kami team's done nothing. Some boxing.
Yeah, boxing. Naturally, I'm the boxer of the group. Windles says he's the fighter, but I'm the heavyweight. So we're going to talk a bit of Fury versus Wilder. Obviously, these guys, the last 2 fights has been a draw and a round 7 knockout to Big Fury. So it's a pretty interesting and big fight that's going to go ahead. I'm not like a massive like boxing advocate. I don't watch a huge amount of it, but when the big fights do come to play, I jump on the bandwagon and go riding around town. So I have read Fury's book, and I think it's really interesting where he's come from and his background and sort of his story actually, being, you know, from the gypsies and stuff like that. And he's, yeah, I just like his character, and so naturally I've picked him to knock Wilder out, paying $1.91. Yeah, just love the story, love the mindset. I know that he's had some rough times, and he's come through depression and things like that. And to come out and be, you know, best in the world is pretty impressive. So I've gone his way. I don't know if you boys have any special insight to this one.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a look into it, and I do, when the big fights come on, I do like to turn my eye and have a little read into it. I guess firstly, obviously it's match 3 for these guys. First one was a draw, as you mentioned, and then Fury got the knockout in the second round and in the second bout in round 7 there. Fury, I guess, is undefeated in 31 fights, 21 by knockout. Wilder's got that knockout power, though. So he's knocked out 93% of his opponents. So the only ones that haven't been knocked out by him are Fury and Bermain Stavern. So there you go. How's that for a little fact? But look, I think Fury's just too good. He looks a class above. I struggle. I mean, Wilder's obviously got that knockout power, which is always going to be a risk. But Fury's got the blueprint. He beat him in that second. He just outboxed him in the first bout. Was probably unlucky not to get the victory by decision, and then outboxed him again in the second. And I don't see it going any differently. I think, I think you're on the money there, Stobes. Fury by KO or TKO at $1.91 is great value. If you chuck in between round 7 and 12, that bumps it up to $3.30, which I think will be the go. That looks the green light for me. So Jack, I don't know, have you pretty much got it that way as well?
Oh, look, I've got Fury to win, and that's probably just based on character and thinking he's a good bastard, and I like the way he does his stuff. He loves what he does. True passion for it, and it's in his family, right? So for me, I'm backing him, but I'm doing it by decision. I think, and I'm not fully confident, but I think there's some margin in it. I need some points. So $4 is what it's paying for decision. There's a little power play there that I quite liked, though, that I've gone on just for a little bit, which is Wilder to win in round 1 to 3, or Tyson Fury to win in 10 to 12 at $4.50. And I think, like potentially, you know, Fury takes this thing deeper, or Wilder just, you know, pops him one because he's got that one golden punch in him, from what I understand. I think Wilder's going to bring more than he brought last time, but I think it's going to be all Fury.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one as well. I just don't know, like, obviously with someone like Wilder, he does have that one punch ability, but it's just whether or not he can actually get close enough to Fury to land that one hit. And even if he does get the odd one, I just can't see it being that full-fledged punch that's going to drop him. So interesting one. Be definitely watching. But I believe we're onto a beauty of a segment, the old punt, pork, and propose. And I think our friend Windler is on it this time.
Yeah, thank you for the handover. Great offload there. And we've got Punt, Pork, or Propose, which is a fantastic segment that Stobey's led excellently to date. And I'm just having a little turn at it, a little go as we call it. So look, the segment goes that basically we're going to give you 3 names based on a subject, and either you're going to punt it, get rid of it, pork it, one night stand, or propose, as Stowe would say, love me long time. So it's a fantastic day to be talking about sidestepping legends in rugby league. So we've got Benji Marshall, Sean Johnson, or RTS, Roger Tuivasa Sheck. Pretty tough one here, lads. And Stobey, I want you to kick it off. What are you doing here?
Who's RTS? Who's RTS, Jack?
That's fucking bullshit. That's what that is.
Getting it over and done with. It's like what you do with horses. You get it onto me and then you fuck it off.
Nah, you'll be right. We'll be right. I've got some good stuff. Punt. I feel like I'm going to make some real road call and everyone's just going to hate me for it. But so punt, I've gone with RTS. not because I don't know who that is. It is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. And yeah, just punted him off. Just I don't know. It was tricky, and I don't know that much. So to be fair, the main reasons were for Pork was SJ Sean Johnson was because he is good for like some serious one-off plays, that bit of razzle dazzle, and yeah, quite exciting to watch when he's on form. And then obviously with the theme and Benji, one of the greats of the game, and the way he went about his business and some of the stuff he did, and for such a long period of time, what you were getting, and you were going to get it for a long time. So if I was going to love someone a long time, I'd want someone who could be there. And SJ's off the park most of the time, and RTS, who knows who's RTS?
Who is he? Great work, mate. Fantastic.
Well done. That's
Len?
brilliant. I am punting Sean Johnson. That was a tough one because I really like Sean. I like his character, how he conducts himself off the field, but just a little bit too inconsistent for me. And as much as he's a better looking bloke than Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and I'd love to I'd love to pork Sean Johnson, but I've had to punt him this time, and I'm going to pork RTS because that footwork is so hot. He's next level. Sean Johnson's good. He's silky, but RTS is explosive. And he literally turns nothing into something, and did it consistently for the Wars, which is never easy. And I can't wait to see what he does for the Blues next season. So I'm going to pork him. He's seen the light. He's come across to the game, the great game that is code, and leaving NRL behind. So really looking forward to that journey. And no surprises, we will be proposing to Benji Marshall. That guy is hot.
Hot. Happy with that? That's your explanation?
Happy with hot. I'm just going to leave it as hot.
Cool. Thanks very much. Great round off there. Look, I during that whole thing had no clue what I was doing, because these are the three of the best, and I should have made it when I made the segment. I should have definitely picked someone who was real shit in there, but I haven't. Look, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to punt the guy that Benji Marshall. He is retired. He's finished up. You need to go, mate. You no longer play the game, is what I've decided. Off you trot. All right, you've done your time. You had your 19 seasons. Go play dad and hubby. All right, off you fuck. Right, now that's done, I've got to pick between the last two. I'm going to go pork. I'm going to go one night Roger. I think his calf's unbelievable. When you said Sean Johnson is better looking, you did not mention the calves.
I've got the calves. Have you seen my calves? Mate, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Who's he? Mate, I've got the baby cows now.
We call it the Len podcast. Podcast with Len.
How good is Len at stuff? So anyway,
how big are Len's calves?
That can be our opening segment. Welcome to the Weekend Warriors podcast with Len's calves.
Oh dear. So anyway, I'm going to pork RTS. I want one last night with him before he fucks off to rugby. He can happily break my heart as he breaks ankles. His shimmy almost, I think it's shimmy step. Real quick, real fast, and you have no idea which way he's going. And love you long time, Sean Johnson. I think really his career would never have happened, in my opinion, if Benji never came, though. Just want to throw that out there. The way that he came through, real similar styles, real touch background, potentially not the best at defense when he was coming through to start with, I think. And without someone paving the way like Benji, he probably doesn't have a career. But Sean Johnson, for me, very much coming into that back end of his career where he's able to mature, but his early doors, what he did for the Warriors and propping them up, unbelievable. And the pressure that he had on him as an early Warriors player was just ridiculous. But his wax highlights are unbelievable. His touch highlights from when he was at high school, every Kiwi seeing that. And I think the Brisbane Broncos game where he just runs through the whole team, steps everyone, breaks everyone's knees and ankles is world class. And I think he's a top bloke too. So that's my one. Stobey, you can. Bad. Stobey, some IPL, my friend.
Yes, some cricket. As it is summer, we will get into some cricket. IPL. Follow it religiously. So we've got a couple of games coming up. We got RCB, Royal Challengers, Bangalore versus Delhi Capitals, and Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Mumbai Indians. These games we're not covering the one tonight or early this morning because no one will hear about it. So what will be the point? So game one, RCB, Delhi Capitals. RCB are just star-studded lineup. They got some serious players floating about there. So I've definitely got them to win that game. They've just, they've got game changers, game winners across the board. AB, Glenn Maxwell, Virat Kohli, you don't really need to go much further than that. I know that they sort of had their struggles in a few seasons, but I think they're starting to put it all together. They'll be too good at $1.72. And then Sunrisers Hyderabad and Mumbai Indians. Now, I do have Mumbai on top. They've won a couple seasons. They're a pretty good team as well. They've got, the likes of Rohit Sharma, who can turn the game on its head and could easily take a game away from Sunrisers. Tricky though, because Sunrisers do have some good players as well, like Williamson and Jason Roy. We got Rashid Khan, who's obviously a good bowler and stuff, but I've lent Mumbai Indians way just because of the experience and some of the game changes that they have.
Is Warner playing as well, Stobey, for Hyderabad, or is he injured? I saw a photo of him on the sidelines.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Did he? I haven't seen the lineup for the game. The last game he didn't play, but maybe he could turn up for these. Now that they're into those finals sort of areas. But yeah, I think what does that work out? It's $1.72 and $1.47 into $2.52 as the multi. Potentially a bit of value in Sunrisers at $2.55, but it's tricky. I think probably Mumbai.
Yeah, fair enough.
What about you, Mr. Len?
Yeah, I was originally the same as you, went Mumbai and RCB, but I've sort of been thinking on it, and I'm actually going to change. I've just jumped the fence here, and I've actually gone with Sunrisers to get up over Mumbai. Mumbai don't look like the force that they've been the last few seasons. So yeah, I'm going to back Williamson to steady the ship there and bring it home for Sunrisers. And at $2.55, that looks like some really, really nice value. So yeah, I'm jumping ship on that one. But yeah, RCB too strong for Delhi, but that will be a close game. But I think the firepower with obviously AB and Virat will be too much. Jack?
Yeah, for this one here, I've got in the Sunrisers versus Mumbai. I've actually got Mumbai. They can't make the playoffs, but they're surely going to try and finish their season on a high. Jimmy Neesham came in last game and performed really well. Still got a good squad. And Sunrisers have only got 3 wins so far this tournament. I know they just beat RCB, a strong side, but they should be performing a lot better, but they're underperformers for a reason. So I'm backing the favourite there. And the other game with Delhi and RCB, look, RCB coming off a loss, yes, team full of superstars that hasn't fully clicked as it should. And Delhi's top of the table for a reason, and they're not favourites in this game. So, I'm trying to back. I think I'm going to back the guys that have done the job this season. They've got a better record by a few games in them, and they'll be wanting to build that momentum into the final series. If they turn up and rest anyone because they've got an easier route to the finals, I'll be pissed. But in a full strength game where they're both trying, I think Delhi should do the job. So I've got them. Yeah, so 203 for Delhi, 147 for Mumbai. I don't have them in multi though.
That's very good. That's actually not bad. It's not bad at all. And we have our crack. We try our hand at a bit of NFL this week, boys. Really looking forward to what you blokes have come up with. Luckily for me, I know a guy, as I always tend to do. I happen to live with this guy. He's my flatmate, and he loves jamming a bit of Madden, and he's always got the NFL on. So as I do best, you turn to those that know, and you ask them for a shoey of a multi, and rest assured he's come through for me. So I'm not going to preview the week's games. I'm just going to give you my 3 that I've been tipped and fucking slap some money on it because it's a shoey. The first one is the Carolina Panthers to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so Brady, I know that much, to beat the Miami Dolphins. And then the Arizona Cardinals, who are looking like the early season faves, they're going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. you're not gonna be able to put a deposit down on a house in Auckland with this multi unless you chuck the house deposit on it. But at 244, looks like a nice double your money and some, and could be a nice little option, or could be the all-in option to save the weekend if the horses don't come through. So lock that one in, and that's a shoey for the fellas. So Stobey, what have you conjured up for us?
So I put all of the names in a hat and just drew them out, and this is what I've come up with.
That's so good from you.
I like this.
I didn't actually do that, but that would have been cool.
Mate, you had us on hook. You should have just kept going with your story.
Yeah, sorry. It could have been good. It's pretty standard for me, build up, let the boys down. But I've gone with a little three-legger, as you've requested, the Atlanta Falcons, Dallas Cowboys, and the Kansas Chiefs for a cheeky $3.28. King value over here. Who said I was back favourites? Go the lads.
Nice. I've got 2 out of the 3 that you had, Len. I went and looked online and just tried to do the expert picks to see who's got like unanimous decisions in the week's round.
You've done not bad to get 2 out of 3.
Yeah, so I've got Tampa Bay Buccaneers at $1.19, Green Bay Packers at versus Cincinnati at $1.57. Carolina.
Cincinnati who?
No, Cincinnati. Just Cincinnati. Carolina Panthers at $1.49. And that gives you $2.78, and I'm on that bet myself.
Very nice.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to back it.
We like that. We do like
Gary.
What have we got now? We got a little bit of F1 this weekend as well, boys. How good is that? We obviously introduced it to the show last week with a review. Thank you, Stig, who sent in a great review. This week we've got the Turkish Grand Prix. So it's round 16, and at the top of the table, obviously things couldn't be tighter. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, only 2 points separate them. Lewis won here last year as well. So, he'll be probably going his favourite, I would have imagined. Sergio Perez and Sebastian Vettel were the others to make the podium last year. But it was young gun Lando Norris, who obviously had a bit of an unfortunate run last week, who led for most of the race and fell short at the end. But he had the fastest lap time last year, going around the 5.38k track in 1:36.8. So that is some quick times there. The key to winning is pole position. So may seem straightforward, but yeah, 5 of the 8 winners from this track have started in P1. The 2 other winners started in P2. So the only person to have won from beyond the front row, you guessed it, it's Lewis Hamilton. So I guess the qualifying this weekend will go a long way to determining who will take this out. But yeah, I can imagine that Lewis and Max will be there at the end fighting it out. So that's a bit of F1. Look forward to hearing the Stigs review on it next week. But we will move forward with the quiz time, I think. Is that what we've got here, Stobey?
Well, I'll tell you what. I was excited when you asked me to do this because I have no idea about rugby league, but I managed to come up with a few questions for the boys. So we got, naturally, as Benji Marshall week, we've got a little Benji Marshall quiz. So how it's going to work is that there are 6 questions. With each question, there is a bonus as well. So 2 points per question. I need you guys to come up with a buzzer each. So the first person to buzz, I will go to them. If they get the answer right, they get the opportunity to answer the bonus question. If they get it wrong, it'll be passed on to whoever doesn't buzz. And if they get it wrong, then you just suck. So maximum of 12 points. Does that make sense? You boys happy?
Yeah.
Right. Write down the points.
Yeah, I'll write them down, mate. Don't you worry. Right. Jack, what's your buzzer, mate?
Hold on, let's just test this. Let's see if I can get a good one here. That's terrible. I was just pushing buttons on this machine here.
Tech man.
Meow. That's my one.
Yeah, naturally. Len?
Ew.
So we got a donkey and a fucking pussy. All right. Okay. So
appropriate, right?
Pretty much. All right. Okay. So question 1. What year did Benji Marshall debut in NRL?
2003.
Nah, fuck off. I answered that first.
Sorry, I didn't wait for him to say it.
I'm going to have to disqualify Jack for that round for jumping the gun, and I'm going to have to go to Caleb to answer that question.
2003, he debuted. And if the end of that question was going to be what team he debuted against.
No.
What's the bonus then?
Do you want me to fucking go back to Jack, or wait your turn? So the bonus is, what year did he debut in Super Rugby?
Meow.
No,
that's me again.
You get to answer it because you got the fucking first question wrong. It's a bonus, you peanut.
Oh fuck. Shit. 2013.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
Windle piece.
I said this year. It was 2014.
Very nice.
Sorry, Len. I said during the podcast he went to rugby in 2013.
Yeah, you fucking stitched me up there.
I know he left the Tigers then, but it must have been end of season.
All right. So do we get the fucking gist of it now? Are we all, we're ready?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, premature.
How many NRL games did Benji Marshall play?
Meow.
That was Len.
Thank you. 346, I think.
Correct.
Fucking oath.
Bonus question for Len is, how many premierships?
1.
Correct. 3 points for Len. All right, Windle piece. You're up, struggle shoot here. Okay.
I think it's my connection. I think I said it first, but it's just that's cool.
Number 3. Where was Benji Marshall born?
Meow.
That is Windler.
Oh, there's a fucking easy one.
Whakatane.
Very nice, Windles. Okay. Bonus question. What year was he born?
Oh, my maths is horrible. 1986.
Incorrect. Len.
What are we now? 21.
Oh, mate, hurry up.
You got
1984.
Incorrect.
5.
1985. Yeah.
I was so close to that too.
All right, it's 3-2 to Len. Right. Question 4. How many tries did Benji Marshall score in his NRL career?
Meow.
Wonder.
96.
Correct.
Oh, fuck off. You didn't research this. You're on absolute bullshit. You do not fucking pull that out of your fucking Jap's eye saying he scored 96 fucking tries. No, you fucking researched it.
Windler's got the stats up on his computer.
Yeah,
I love my stats.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Windler, you get your bonus question then. How many points did he score?
I need a calculator.
Over his NRL career.
Can I have a calculator real quick to put what I think it is?
You have about 5 seconds.
Well, if he gets a calculator, I get a calculator.
Why do you need a calculator it for? You're going to get it wrong because I know exactly what you're doing. You're just going to time 96 times 4.
No, I think
because he would have kicked goals.
650.
No, incorrect.
Was that close? Let Len guess first. It's hard. I didn't know how many goals he.
No, he scored heaps of points. He scored he played fucking 19 seasons, mate. He would have scored 1,232 points.
I love how you've gone on Google to find that, you fucking loser.
He doesn't have a point.
Oh, we can't tell.
Yes, he just turned to his screen and started typing like this.
No, I was using my calculator, you bastard, just like you were. My message is better.
All right. I'll give you that point, Len, but that's fucking jammy from you. That's real jammy. Mate. All right. Okay. Question 5. How many professional teams did Benji Marshall play for?
Meow.
That was Len.
Yeah, thanks. Fuck. Is this professional including international?
How many professional teams did Benji Marshall play for? What's the question?
Oh, for fuck's sake, that doesn't help me. Tigers, Broncos, Dragons, Blues.
Yeah, you're running out of time.
Is this including under 20s as well?
That's not
professional, mate.
Okay, I'm gonna say 7.
Correct.
Thank you.
Motherfucker.
Right, name them. Bonus.
Yeah, so you've got the Tigers, you've got St. George, you've got the Broncos, you've got the Rabbits, you've got the Blues, you've got the Kiwis, and you've got the All Stars.
Well done.
Very good.
Very good.
Windler, I need you to up your. Actually, you can't win.
Well, if you just picked me.
No, yeah, internet connection. All right. What is Benji Marshall's wife's name?
Meow.
Igor.
That was Windler.
Zoe Marshall.
Zoe
It
Marshall.
was, buddy. It was me, Len.
It was definitely. It was definitely. Yeah, it was definitely Windler. And then bonus question is, what's his kid's name?
Oh,
he's at press conference as well.
yeah.
Is one called Fox?
Fuck you.
That's his last name.
Last name?
Nah, his first name's Fox.
Thanks, Len, for your honesty, mate.
Why has it got Benjamin Fox?
Might be his middle name, but that's what he called him at the press conference.
Yeah, he called him
his
Fox
name,
at the press conference.
And
the other, and then the kid's called Zoe. Well, no, what's the kid's name? The girl's name?
Don't know.
So who's?
I think it's a good girl as well.
All right. Anyway, Len,
I win.
You win.
Thank
Just. Sorry, Windles. I do.
What was the score?
For that. It was 6-5. Oh, who said Fox? Who was that? Yeah, right. 6-5. It was. So very close.
Nice.
Nice to go. If there was a point you guys missed was what year was he born? That would have made it even. So
Good
very
quiz,
good,
well done,
fellas. All good.
Very good quiz. Well done. Good little segment there. I like that. Enjoyed that. I love a little bit of competition. Bit of NPC this week, boys, as well. We'll rattle through it pretty quickly with just the team that you think is going to win in the margin. I'll kick us off and just give us a little bit of background as to who's playing. Canterbury, Wellington. This is going to be a beauty. I've got Canterbury 12 and under, or 1-12 here. How do you boys see it?
Same.
Yeah, that's what I've gone with. Yeah.
360 did you have?
There.
360,
Pardon?
yeah.
360 you had for that?
Yeah, 360 for that. The Shield game, this will be game of the round. Obviously going to be Hawke's Bay's biggest test against Tasman. How do you see this? I've got Hawke's Bay sneaking in under 1-12 again.
Not a chance. Tasman are going to pump them 13 plus easy.
Oh my God.
Shield game's a tough one on that. I actually didn't realize there was a Shield game. I have Tasman 1-12.
Okay.
But I'm going to stick to it. $3.10 for that.
Yeah, Shield games, boys. It's going to be a beauty. There's nothing that gets you more fizz than a Shield, that's for sure. Taranaki versus Otago. Otago looked bang average last week, and Naki playing some really good codes. So I've got Taranaki 13 plus. Stobey, see it any differently?
No, I got the same, and at fucking $2.30. That's not too shabby.
It's fucking good value, eh?
Not bad.
Jack, do you see it any differently?
Absolutely the same.
Very nice. And then the last game, Southland versus Manawatu. Aaron Smith is the key for me here. Manawatu 13 plus. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're a shambles. I've actually gone different. I believe Southland can bounce back and start their season again after their final. It's pre-season, so Southland 1-12. They're paying at $2.50 just to win, but $3.75 to get 1-12. I think it's not bad value for a side who played pretty well against Canterbury a couple of weeks back. I know they got pongoed by Tasman, but in a tournament where anyone can beat anyone against Manawatu, I think Southland can do it. Fair
enough. Nice. You're an Invercargill boy at heart, aren't you?
I wouldn't say that. Gore, mate.
Gore.
Take me back to Gore. How good.
Manawatu 13 plus for me.
Yeah, fair.
Just quickly, that gives me value across this. I put a $5 bet on today at $71.87, backing my margins.
Yeah, I bet my margins in at like 80 something to 1. So how good.
Really?
Why not?
Yeah, mine were up there as well. I think my head-to-head margins were at about 10s. So I just went head-to-head because I was like, fuck me, that's value. I just need to pick 4 winners here. But you check the margins in and we're sitting somewhere up around that 70-80 mark as well. Yeah, so definitely some value to be had this weekend, which is great. Now it's time for my favorite fucking segment of this show, one that we've all been waiting for and one that Jack has been trying fucking hard to get rid of. Joke of the week.
Yay. Honestly,
I was
boys.
hoping it was going to be like right at the end, Jack thinks that he's gotten rid of it and not had to get through it and then be like, oh, by the way, joke.
So we should have done that, eh?
I still have conversations with myself as to how the hell this got on the segment list when I put it there. I thought it was a great idea until it was my turn. I hate jokes. I hate telling. I'm not good at telling stories, and I'm not good at telling jokes, as we saw on my first attempt. But we'll have a little crack here, and I really appreciate your support, listeners out there, because I'm not going to get any from these two. So if you could just flick me a message, just tell me life's all right after this, no matter how it goes. Go a long way. I also need a piss, and that's not because I'm pissing myself about this. I actually do. So I'm going to quickly say this and run while you guys get the next segment. Alrighty, lads. This is rogue because I need something funny. How can you tell if your wife is dead? The sex is the same, but you get to use the remote. Surely, yes. Go on, Len.
Oh my god!
Turn your mics up, boys, so we can hear a few laughters. Honestly, there's a list of 68 ones here. Do you want to hear what my second choices were? Because those will be bad.
Yeah.
All right. My neighbor has been mad at my wife. Start again. See, this is how bad I am. My neighbor has been mad at his wife for sunbathing nude. Personally, I'm on the fence.
That's not bad. I quite like that.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, I shouldn't have gone with necrophilia, should I? What else is here?
You're a shambles of a
What do you call an expert fisherman?
Len.
A masturbator. All right,
Jesus,
we're going to keep moving through things. Stobey, you want to get into some horsey chat?
Yeah, well, bloody oath. Right, ponies this week, how good. Not going to talk about New Zealand horses. It does my head in. I keep betting on it and I keep losing. It's a heavy 10 and there's some donkeys running around a track and they get tipped out, or I pick something and it fucking shits the bed. So I can't tip them. If I don't tip them, I won't bet on them, is my theory. So we'll go with that. But yeah, so lots of group racing across the ditch again. Looks like a cracker. The tracks should actually be pretty good this week. The weather's pretty good and they looking all right. Randwick's a good 4 and Caulfield's a soft 5 at the moment and just getting better. So very, very good for a couple of nice races. We've got the Moe Stakes, Randwick Race 8, which should be a beauty. We've got the Turak Handicap and Caulfield Guineas, and Might and Power. So we've got 4 Group 1s, which is pretty good watching, and some serious horses floating about. Randwick Race 8 is the Moe, and we've got the likes of Profondo, who looks bloody good, just races like a fucking lunatic, and Never Been Kissed, who raced a pretty good race last week to beat the likes of Animo and Co. So bloody good. Caulfield as well, Caulfield Race 8. We see Animo go again with Artorias and all those guys, which again should be a cracker of a race. Very, very hard to pick these Group 1 races. You never really know. Obviously, the last couple of weeks, the Giants have been toppled. We got Zaki running at race 6, which is obviously the best horse in Australia at the moment. Len managed to tip it out really kindly to all you listeners out there at $1.35. So he'll try and claim that one. But yeah, no, just some really good racing and should be a good track. So hopefully the punting makes for some easy watching. But we'll get into some of your boys' best bets and see what you've come up with. What have we got, Len?
What have we got? My best comes out of the Maya Oostis stable. So word on the ground and word out of the stable, and we've made a few calls here to see how she's going. But it's racing in Caulfield Race 4, a horse by the name of Crystal Bound. She's freshened up really nicely as the word, and she's improved massively as well. So she won first up over 1,100 meters, beating the likes of Dosh and All About Eve. She steps up to the 1,200 meter mark here and looks like it'll suit her really nicely, and expect her to be charging home and getting over the top of them late. She's currently at 420, so she should get some. I've already gone large on her, so I've emptied the account into her, and we'll be sitting with intent watching her run home. So she's my best. Another best, but with not a lot of value, but just the shoey, is Randwick Race 4, and that is Coast Watch at $1.90. Ran third behind Animo and In the Congo, both of which are absolute beasts, so we don't need to talk about them. Doesn't have a massive turn of foot, this horse, but she just keeps on giving, really. Looks really well suited to the 1500, and will be right in this at the end again. So I think Coast Watch there should run a naughty little race. And my next best, I sort of ummed over who I was going to go here. I really like Probabeel and Caulfield race 6 going up against my old mate Zaki. But I'm actually going to go with Randwick race 5 as my sort of roughie. And that's a horse that I've tipped out before, and that's Glen Eagles. He's run a couple of really, really good races, finishing 4th just out of the place getters, behind the likes of Animo and the Congo, Andermatt and Hulk as well, who are all great horses in their own right. So he's at 550, and yeah, just looks really impressive. A great turn of foot. Another one that will be flying home late and meets easier opposition in my mind here, and just looks ready to win. So at 550, he's my roughie of the day. So go the lads. Jack.
Nice, mate.
Nice, mate. I can do mine quickly. I'll do mine quickly, mate.
Wait on. Cool. I want to hear what Stobes had to say.
Oh no, I was just gonna fucking say, like, yeah, I've actually got Coast Watch as my best as well, mate. I think you've done well there, and I think that your chat about May Eustace is fucking pile of shit. But anyway, off you go, Jack.
Yeah, nice from Caleb. No, I want to hear what the man has to say, and he shat on you. Look, I've got my best for this week as a little throwback from Len a couple of weeks ago for a little Polele in Randwick race 5 at $2.20. Just looking at the field there, I think Polele will be strong in that field. Just like saying the name, don't I? My next best is well researched from Eagle Farm race 7. And look, didn't have much luck with a bit of Apache last week, but we're going to have another dip at $2.20. We've got a Apache Chase, Eagle Farm race 7. And look, the name's going to speak for itself here. And Eagle Farm race 6, we've got Jack the Lad at $6. Look, my insider's telling me that Chris Waller trains this one, runs really well at the distance, charged home recently after a bit of a late start. So that's the inside oil.
Did it sleep in, did it?
Yeah, late start to the day, had some tire issues. $6 Jack the Lad, get amongst.
Nice, mate. That's good. Jack the Lad. Yeah, I don't mind that one, actually. That's a good chat from you. So I've gone with Coast Watch as my best bet at $1.90. Look, like I said last week with Coolangatta, better than bank interest, and I think it would be the same with Coast Watch this week. J-Mac on, and I believe, who was it? Captivant, who was probably the biggest danger, was scratched from that race. So I would say that Coast Watch would be getting up quite comfortably in that one, all things going well. My next best is potentially a bit rogue, given the way it ran around like a lunatic last race, but Profondo was a pretty expensive buy at the sales, came out on debut and ran pretty greenly, but still won, and then came second to Head of State a couple of weeks ago, and just a bit green and run around like an idiot. Like, just should have easily won the race, but couldn't find the line quite the way it probably should have. And hopefully they've taught it some manners this week and can get home quite nicely at $3.30. My odds pick for the week, my roughie, I've gone with Tefane at 10s and 3s. Proven Group 1 performer, had one crack at the distance, 1,600 meters, and was a length off Incentivise, and we've seen what Incentivise can do the last couple of weeks, and easily will go and win some bigger races. So at $10, I thought was definitely the overs in that race. A few other really, really nice ones running about, which I'm sure the boys will tip out throughout the day. But yeah, it could turn out to be a bit of a cracker. I think, Chuckins, I know that Caleb's chucked out probably, so I don't want to tip against him too much, but Zaki at $1.20 for some multipliers, probably not the worst idea.
Definitely not the worst, but yeah, sneaky suspicion about old mate Probabeel. She looks like, I just think the tide's turned. $6, great value. There's no value on Zaki.
You could even run that place though, couldn't you? Really?
Yeah. You could run Probabeel to place. I mean, she's going to be there or thereabouts. She's run 4 times at the track and she's won 3 of them, so she's she loves the course, which is a great sign. And, you know, at the Underwood, she was only 2 lengths off Zaki in closing, I think, at the end. So I think stepping up to that 2,000 meter mark will suit her quite nicely.
Nice. Yeah, so that'll do for us for the ponies this week. Not a huge write up, but I'm sure we'll throw a few bits and bobs out there over the weekend. Hopefully we can do with the fellas. How good?
Yeah, mate. That's another bloody good episode in the books, boys. That pretty much brings us to a bit of a wrap, eh? Jack, you got your piss out the way, mate. You're feeling a bit more relieved, a bit more with it now?
I was feeling the pressure in general terms with the joke, and then obviously that started to build up because I was just smashing back some water here, which was so rookie from me because we've definitely dragged this one out. All right, lads. Well, if that's us, then we'll get going. Eh? Are we jumping on COD after this? Like, it's not wrong to ask that here, eh? Or is it a bit time?
I wouldn't mind having a cheeky couple of games. Stobes might get in trouble though. You got another 6 a.m. walk.
Nah, mate, I'll be right this time. I don't have to get up early, so.
All right, well, we're going to be playing PlayStation on this afterwards. We'll play a bit of COD. Look, lads, really good episode again. We thought we had no content for this week because there was a shit out of sport, and we've done and hit our new record of how long we've done. So, for the Warriors out there that have stuck with us, I hope you've enjoyed it. We've had I thought that there's been some great insight into, you know, the tributes with Benji Marshall and our always classic segments, plus, you know, previewing your sports. Wishing everyone the best of luck with their punts this weekend. You know, gamble responsibly. Don't blame us when you. Thank you, Stobey. Don't blame us when you lose. Praise us when you win. That's how it goes. And we'll do this all next week. Go the Warriors.
Go the Warriors.
Crack a couple beers. We'll talk about the sport. Maybe some other things. Don't take us to court.